But let's get started in child's pose. And we'll get moving this afternoon, this evening. So take the first few moments to get your fingertips down into the mat and let your hips sit nice and heavy back on your heels. And take a deep breath in through your nose. Fill yourself all the way up. Exhale it out. Another breath like that. Fill up, expand your lungs, the space between your shoulder blades. And exhale it out. One more like that. Fill up all the way. Exhale all the way. And start to build your Ujjayi breath. A big long inhale with the pause at the top. Long exhale with the pause at the bottom. So that rhythm starts from the very beginning of your practice and goes all the way to the end. Downward facing dog. Keep building the breath. You move your body around any way that you need to. Get it stretched out. See where things are. Walk your feet up to your hands and hang in ragdoll. Press the four corners of both of your feet way down into the floor and lift the pit of your belly up toward the ceiling. Yes, enough that it rounds your low back. Yeah, and you can stretch out that tissue in your low back, the middle of your back. Then press into your feet, rise all the way up to standing. Reach through your fingertips. Bring your thumbs to heart center. Set your intention for your practice. Pick one specific thing that you want to focus on. And we'll send out those intentions with 3 ohms. Deep breath in. Inhale, reach up, extended mountain. Exhale, forward fold. Halfway lift, lengthen your spine. High push up and pause. Right knee to right elbow. Left knee to left elbow. Low push up. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. 3 breaths together. In. Exhale it out. Breathe in, expand. And empty. Good. One more. Fill up. Push all the air back out. Step or jump to your hands. Halfway lift. Fold down. Extended mountain. Rise up to standing. Stretch all the way up. Forward fold. Halfway lift. High plank. Right knee to right elbow. Left knee to left elbow. Low push up. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Full breath in together. Press your thumbs down on your exhale. Yes, make the connection. Breathe in. Breath out. Last one. Empty to the pit of your belly. Step or jump to the head of your mat. Halfway lift. Fold down. Extended mountain. Rise up. Start to stretch up and back on this one. Yes, forward fold. Halfway lift. High plank. Knee tap on the right. And on the left, low plank, upward facing dog, downward facing dog. 3 big breaths together. In, empty it out. Good. Breath in, breath out. One more. Fill up. Exhale everything out. Move forward. Halfway lifts. Bow down. Rise to stand. Big inhale all the way up to your fingers. Forward fold. Halfway lift. High plank. Knee tap. Knee tap. Low plank. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Full breath in together. Big exhale. Yeah, get purposeful with it. Breathe in and empty. Last one. Exhale everything out. Step or jump forward. Halfway lifts. Fold down. One more sun A. Rise up to standing and reach. Forward fold. Halfway lifts. High plank. Pull the pit of your belly way in and up. Knee tap and knee tap. Low plank. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Full breath in together. Exhale it out. Breathe in. Empty. Last one, fill all the way. Exhale everything out. Move forward. Halfway lifts. Fold down. Chair pose and stay. Get way back in your hips and let your toes get light and lift up off the mat. Yes, keep them light and lifted. Take a full breath in. Twist right on your exhale. Inhale, open your arms. Stay for the breath out. Back up to chair pose. Breathe in. Twist left on your exhale. Inhale, open. Stay for the twist. Back up to chair. Forward fold. Halfway lifts. High plank. Knee tap. Knee tap. Low plank. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Right side warrior one. Step nice and deep into your lunge and reach. Chaturanga, hands to the mat. Inhale up. Exhale down. Left side warrior one. Step into it. Lift your chest way up to the ceiling. Low push up. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Take one breath in together. Big breath out. Move forward. Halfway lifts. Fold. Chair pose for one breath this time. Reach. Twist right on your exhale. Inhale to open. Stay for the breath out. Back up to chair. Inhale. Twist left and breathe out. Open. Stay for the twist. Back up to chair. Forward fold. Halfway lifts. High plank. Knee tap. Knee tap. Low plank. Upward facing. Downward facing dog. Right side warrior one. Step into it. Take your gaze all the way up to the ceiling. Low push up. Gaze to the mat. Up dog. Downward facing dog. Left side. Step it through. Connect and stretch up. Low push up. Inhale up. Exhale down. One breath in. Push the air back out. Move forward. Halfway lifts. Fold. Chair pose. Breathe deep. Twist right. Inhale, open. Stay for the breath out. Back up to chair. Stretch. Twist left. Open up. Stay for the whole exhale. Then back up to chair. Forward fold. Halfway lift. Lengthen. High plank. Knee tap. Knee tap. Low plank. Upward facing. Down dog. Right side warrior one. Step into it. Nice and deep. Knee over your ankle. Yes. Chaturanga. Hands to the floor. Up dog. Downward facing dog. Left side. Step it through. Long inhale all the way up to your fingertips. Chaturanga. Upward facing. Downward facing dog. One breath in. Sigh it out. Get clear. Move forward. Halfway lifts. Fold. Chair pose, Utkatasana. Twist right. Inhale, open. Stay and breathe out. Back up to chair. Twist left. Inhale, expand. Stay for the exhale. Then back up to chair. Fold. Halfway lifts. High push up. Knee on the right. Knee on the left. Low push up. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Right side warrior one. Come way down into it. Take your heart up and take it back. Chaturanga. Hands to the mat. Upward facing. Downward facing dog. Left side warrior. Step through and really press your feet into the floor. Low push up. Inhale up. Exhale down. One breath in. Clear it all out. Move forward. You've got one more sun bee. Halfway lifts. Fold down. Chair pose. Deepest one yet. Twist right. Inhale, open. Stay for the twist. Back up to chair. Twist left. Open up. Stay for the whole breath out. Then back up to chair pose. Forward fold. Halfway lifts. High plank. Knee on the right. Knee on the left. Low plank. Upward facing. Down dog. Right side warrior one. You got it. Long inhale all the way up. Chaturanga, breath out. Up dog. Downward facing dog, left side, step, let the sweat move, the heat move, reach up, chaturanga, hands to the mat. Upward facing, downward facing dog. Take a full breath in together. Sigh it out. Yeah, make space, breathe in. Big exhale, good, one more. Clear it all out, send your right leg up to the sky. Bend your knee and open your hip. You can stay here in three-legged or flip your dog, go all the way over. Yes, full connection with feet to the floor. And then if wheel pose is there for you already, go for it. And even if it's not, reach your fingertips down towards the floor like you just might be able to touch. Flip back over, side plank. Send your left arm up to the ceiling. Eyes set to one spot. Purposeful rhythmic breath. Flex both of your ankles and float that top leg up to the sky. Yes. Now stretch your top arm over your top ear. Reach it to the front of the room. Yeah. Now pull yourself apart from your top fingertips to the heel of your lifted foot. Big inhale. Chaturanga, hands to the floor. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Left leg up to the sky. Knee open, hip open, flip your dog. Connect and go. Big up and open space through your chest. Already warmed up now. There's already heat and space happening. Then reach your fingertips down towards the floor. Make more space. Yes, Claire, there you go. Flip all the way back over, side plank. Start with what's touching the floor. No rush to get to the final version of the pose. So really press your left fingertips down into the mat and float your top leg up to the sky. Definitely helps to flex that ankle a lot. Reach the top arm over your ear and pull yourself long. Top fingertips to lifted foot. Last breath. High to low push up. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Take a full breath in together. Clear it out. Breathe in. Exhale. Good. One more. Exhale completely. Right side crescent lunge. Step through. Yeah, and then bring the breath into it as you set up the foundation of the pose. Nice and deep in the lunging leg. Heel on the back foot right over the ball mound of your back foot. Hands up to the sky. We'll do some knee dips with the back knee so it doesn't need to touch the floor, but it can come close. Dip for 5. Good. 4, 3, 2, 1. Stretch up tall, twist right. Get your elbow on the outside of your knee and then open up your arms. Take up some space. Yes, use that bottom arm as an anchor to open your chest to the side of the room. Press your back thigh up to the ceiling more. Yeah, there you go. Beautiful. One more breath together here. Stay for the whole exhale. Then warrior 2, face the windows. Come down nice and deep into warrior 2. Out of default where it feels super comfortable, come down into it. Yes, skin to muscle to bone connection. Extended side angle. Come back into your breath because it got a little quiet. Then take a half bind. Top arm around your back. Peel open your top shoulder. Open toward the ceiling. Yeah, Nora, there you go. Your shoulder blades can squeeze together. Yes, one more breath. High to low push up. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Step your left foot through, crescent lunge. And if you need to use the exhales through your mouth, just do that to reset your breath. Get a little extra heat out, cool, then back to the rhythmic breath. Hands up to the ceiling. Knee dips with the back leg. 5, 4, 3. Keep breathing. 2, 1. Hands to heart center. Twist left. Then everyone start breathing again because they got quiet during the knee dips. Open your arms. Then from middle fingertip to middle fingertip, stretch out. Get a big, long line. Like even your fingers get longer from your palms as you open up here. One more breath. Whole exhale to twist. Warrior 2, unwind. Right down into it. You know when you're on your mat and you're kind of sort of doing a thing, like get into it. Get into the warrior 2. Extended side angle. Because when you step off your mat at the end of your practice, like it's only up to you, half bind, chest open. It's up to you whether or not you get a full practice, a full experience where you went all the way to the edge. One more breath. High to low push up. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Take one breath in together. Big exhale out. Step or jump to the head of your mat. Halfway lift. Bow down. Chair pose and breathe. Sit way back in your hips. Yes, down, down, down into your hips. Beautiful. Hands to heart center. Twist right. Stay low in your hips. Open your arms. Stay here or take a bind. Bottom arm in between your knees. Top arm around your back. So maybe it's the full bind with that bottom arm in between your knees and underneath your thigh. Yeah, Maisie, you got it. Keep working your fingertips together. You're here for 5, 4. Lift your toes. 3, 2, 1. Chair pose. Forward fold. Take your first 2 fingers around your big toes. Now send that tailbone up to the sky and stretch out the backs of your legs. Gaze at the back edge of your mat, a focused drishti, one single point. Crow pose number 1. We're taking 2, so if you want to take side crow, it's on the table. Go ahead and take side crow, and then you can take the other side next time. Spread out your fingers super wide. Gaze to one point, and then really pull everything into center. Your inner thighs, your outer shins right into center. One more breath here. Step or jump back, chaturanga. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. One breath in. Clearing breath out. Move forward. Halfway lift. Fold down. Chair pose. Down and back. Can you sit low in your hips and lift the front of your pelvis up to your belly button? Yeah, there it is. Keep that connection. Hands to heart. Twist left. Then open your arms. And you decide if you stay in this space with open arms or take the bind, but stay low in your hips so you've got room to lift your heart up and out. 5, 4, 3, keep breathing. 2, 1, chair pose. Forward fold. Gorilla, step on your palms. Toes all the way up to your wrists. Gaze at one spot, and if your breath got away from you, now's the time to restart. Now's the time to reset it. Crow pose number 2. Take it from the head of your mat, even if you have zero intention tonight of jumping back to chaturanga, just so that you mentally set up that space. So when you are ready, you can just pop back to chaturanga. Eyes on one spot in front of your fingertips. Because the worst thing that'll happen if you jump back, it'll just be a little bit of a belly flop and you're already really close to the ground. Take one more breath in. Shoot your legs back, chaturanga. Yes, upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Good, take a big breath in together. And clear it out. 2 more, breath in. Last one. Push the air out. Move forward. Halfway lift, fold down, rise all the way to standing. Eagle pose, right side, right arm under, right leg over. Set your eyes to one spot on the wall in front of you and sit a little deeper than you normally do in your hips to give yourself space to wrap your legs tighter together. You can play around with that, the height of your hips, to see where the sweet spot is where you can completely wrap skin to muscle to bone on both legs. Keep your arms bound. Take airplane with your legs. Press that lifted foot straight to the back of the room and then lift the pit of your belly in and up. Full airplane. Reach your arms behind you. Beautiful. Flex your lifted ankle more and press back. Yes, Roy, just like that. Keep that lifted leg super active. Half moon, open up. Lifted legs, stay super active. Yes, I love the slow transition. So the hand can hover, be on the floor, whatever it needs to touch, great. And then you can stay right here in half moon or take sugar cane and grab a hold of your top ankle. Top ankle with your top hand. We've got one more breath here. Both feet to the floor. Eagle pose, left side, second set. First set, I take that back. Left arm under, left leg over. Find the sweet spot. Play with the height of your hips to wrap your legs into one another. Then bring the breath back in. Like an awareness around what's going on in the hips, what's going on in the legs, while still having the breath going in the background. Airplane with your legs. Squeeze your shoulder blades together on your back. Yeah, keep them together on your back. Full airplane. Big, long extension through your body. Out through the front of your chest, out through your lifted foot. Half moon. The transitions are super important in your practice. So if you feel like that's the piece that's missing, maybe you pay more attention to transitioning in the actual poses themselves. Half moon to sugar cane. Grab that top ankle. Yes, let it be a little messy if you're unsure about it. One more breath. Both feet to the mat. Standing bow or dancer's pose, right side. So soft crease of your elbow faces out for standing bow. Strap or the towel for dancers. Take your pose. So take the first few breaths to get settled into the shape of the thing, and then start to push your chest past the front edge of your mat. To push your shin to the back edge of your mat. One more breath. Left side. Standing bow, left side. Eyes set to one spot. Just go one piece at a time. Start with what's touching the ground and really connect the four corners of your standing foot into the mat. Yeah, there it is. Now soften your standing knee a bit. Let the muscles do the work. Good. One more breath. Right side, second set. You got it. If it's starting to, like, things are getting more complicated up in your head, bring it back down into your body. Just what's happening right now. Foot on the floor, softness in the knee, muscle to bone. Left side, last one. Get settled into your standing foot, and then use your exhales to press that standing foot further into the mat, down into the earth. Soften your standing knee. Yes, one more breath. Feet to the floor. Tree pose, right side. You choose whatever arm variation you want to take with tree pose tonight. But I want you to make the pose more challenging by shifting your gaze. So start with your eyes at one spot in front of you, and then start to walk your eyes up the wall as slow as you need to, all the way up to the ceiling. So worst thing that'll happen is you'll put your foot down. No big deal. You just reset the pose. Yeah, come back into tree, eyes on one spot, work it all the way up to the ceiling. Yes, then start breathing. Good. Last breath. Left side tree. I think being okay with falling out of the pose, like letting it be messy in front of other people in the room, is one of the hardest pieces to learn in yoga. Because when you start, it's like everything's all over the place. Okay, cool, no big deal, not really thinking about it that much. But as your practice deepens and you get on your mat again and again and again, walk your eyes up toward the ceiling. Starts to turn into like, oh, well, I can't put my foot down. Well, what if I get messy with this? What if this looks a little sloppy? What if someone's watching me? Just do the thing. Last breath. Feet to the floor. Come up to the head of your mat if you're not there already. Extended mountain. Reach your hands up to the ceiling. Forward fold. Halfway lifts. High plank. Knee on the right. Knee on the left. Low plank. Upward facing dog, downward facing dog, right side triangle. Step your right foot between your hands. Bring the breath into the pose as you build it piece by piece, all the way up to those top fingertips. Steady and rhythmic in a way that you've got an equal and opposite force going on, right? You've got the foundation, feet pressed into the floor, and then the open expansion through your chest and upper back. Start to take it into a back bend. Take your top arm further back. Yeah, maybe your bottom arm scoots on your water bottle or your shin further back. Rise all the way up to standing. Side facing wide leg fold. Turn both feet to face the windows. Hinge down. We'll do a bit of a hamstring stretch. So reach your right hand to your left foot. Right hand towards your left foot. Come back to center. Left hand to right foot. You're going back and forth between the two. Keep a little bit of softness in your knees so the work really happens in your hamstrings instead of locked out joints. Yeah, you can add a bit of a twist to it. Open up your chest toward the back of the room and then towards the front, side to side. Keep going for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come back to center and rise up to standing. Namaste, front facing forward fold or split pose if you're working on that. Take a bind behind your back and hinge forward. Bring the breath into it. Just notice when it gets quiet. Be the one that restarts the breath. So you're not only holding yourself accountable in your practice for breath, but you're also reminding everybody else in the space. Come back into it. Come back down into your physical body. Twisting triangle. Open yourself up. Big open space through your chest. Reach your tailbone straight back behind you. So your spine lengthens in both directions. Out through the crown of your head, out through your tailbone. You can stay right here or take twisting half moon. Float your back leg up to the sky. You'll need to shift forward a little bit to lift that back leg up. Yes, there you go. Flex your ankle. You got it. One more breath. High to low push up. Good work. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Left side triangle. Step through. And again, you start with the foundation. Press down as much as you can. So not just feet on the floor, but feet that actively press all four corners into the floor. Start to open up your chest toward the ceiling. Take up as much physical space as you can. And pull yourself up to standing. Side facing wide leg fold. Interlace your fingers at your low back. Hinge forward. And some of you have your feet turned out a little wider. Bring them in so they're almost pigeon-toed. And then the more pigeon-toed you turn your toes in, the bigger the stretch on the outside of your ankles. So you make the adjustment to fit for your body. Then set your eyes to one spot. Eyes to one spot. Bring that breath into a big and full. Release your hands down. Rise all the way to stand. Namaste, front facing. Take your bind behind your back. Check in with the work you've got going on in your hamstrings. If you fold forward and there's not a lot of information in your legs, take a longer stance or a wider stance to add more stretch to it. And soften your toes. Yeah, there you go. Press the center of your heels straight down instead. Twisting triangle. Open yourself up. The whole spine's super long. Longer the spine, the more space you've got available for your twists to ring out. Float that back leg up for twisting half moon. I stay on one spot as you shift forward to the twisting half moon. Yes, there you go. Beautiful. One big breath. High to low push up you go. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. I think it's a good time for a sigh. Take a deep breath in. Sigh it out. 2 more. Breath in. 1 more. Clear it all out. Roll out to a high plank. Mountain climbers are next. Knee into your nose into center. Go at your own pace for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower all the way to the floor. Set up for Superman. Reach your arms straight out in front. Rise up off the mat, lift your chest, your shoulders, your feet, and then really squeeze your inner thighs together and lift the pit of your belly in and up so it can support and spread out your low back. One more breath here. Lower down. Take your hips side to side. Second set of Superman. You can have your arms in cactus as well. That's like the in-between piece to really hug everything into center and lift. Point your toes to the back of the room. Press them past the back edge of your mat. Yes, beautiful. One more breath here. Lower down. Take your hips side to side. Floor bow number 1. Grab a hold of your ankles. Press your feet all the way up to the ceiling. Let the feet do as much work as the legs. That lower half of your body driving the movement and the opening in this pose. One more breath. Lower down. Take it side to side. Floor bow number 2. Grab a hold. Rise up. You have the option to bring your hands on the insides of your ankles as well here so the soft creases face out like standing bow. Up and away from the floor. Last breath in. Lower down. Take it side to side. Upward facing dog. Rise up off your mat. Pause in the up dog. Stretch the whole front side of your body. Downward facing dog. Lower your knees for camel. Press your knees, your feet down into the floor. Lift your chest up and make your way back. So hands can stay on your low back or you can work them all the way down towards your heels. That's up to you, but have your attention on your low back. And if it feels like there's crowding or crunching happening, hands stay on your low back. Yes, heart up and out like there's a string on your chest. Lift it up toward the ceiling. Come up and out on your next inhale. Downward facing dog to reset. Look between your hands, jump through to sit. Staff pose, legs straight out in front, arms straight out in front. And slow as you can, lower your back to the floor, one vertebrae at a time. Yes, breathe on the way down too. Super slow, but also with breath. And then when you get there, bridge pose. Bend your knees and plant your feet. Rise up and away from the mat. Bind your hands at your low back and then tuck your shoulder heads underneath you one at a time so they can help lift your chest up to the ceiling. Yes, now big toe mounds down into the earth. One more breath. Lower down. Take your knees left and right. Bridge number 2, press down, rise up. Up and away from the floor. Make that connection, shoulders into the mat. Then right knee into your chest. Right foot up to the sky. Pulse your hips up to the ceiling for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Switch legs. You got it. Pulse up for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower down, knees side to side. All right, yogis, you're definitely ready for a wheel pose now. Tuck your fingertips under your shoulders, press down and go up. Press down and go up. Yes, big and open. All of this brand new space in your physical body. Then tuck your chin and come down. Breath in together. Full breath out. Number 2, wheel. Press down and go. Yes, don't even give your brain the opportunity to make a story. You're just in the pose. Tuck your chin and come down. Breath in, full breath out. Number 3, you got it. Yeah, like if you feel the urge to stay up on the wheel longer, stay up there. See what there is to see. Then tuck your chin and come down. Full breath. Big exhale. Rise up, wheel pose. You got it. When the brain says, I don't know if I can do another one, that's when your body steps in. That's the time to do it. Yes. Tuck your chin and come down. Breathe in. Breathe out. Wheel pose. You've got 2 more. See if you can get your right knee into your chest and your right foot up to the sky in the wheel pose. Lift it up and out. Yes, Nora. Come on down. Breath in. Full breath out. You got it. One more. Wheel pose. Press down, rise up. Opposite leg into your chest, foot up to the sky. Beautiful. Come on down. Supta Baddha Konasana. Whew. Take a long breath in through your nose. Fill up your lungs. Exhale through your mouth. Clear that space. Clear all that out of there. Eyes set to one spot on the ceiling. Then happy baby or dead bug. Grab the outside edges of your feet. Get your whole spine down on the mat, especially your low back. Let your low back spread out and press down into the floor. Legs straight up in the air. Hands tucked underneath your glutes. We'll do some scissor legs to start. Lower your right leg halfway to the floor. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, switch your legs. Stay right here. Breath in. Exhale, switch. Good. Keep going with your breath. Switch is always on the exhale. And then you can decide if your foot touches the floor or it hovers. Keep going for the count of 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Legs up, knees into your chest. Give them a squeeze. Rock forward and back. Make your way up into boat pose, neither a block or your hands right at heart center. Right at heart center in your boat pose. Now row the boat side to side for 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12. Flex your ankles. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Knees in. Rock forward and back 3 times. Forward and back 3 times, and you'll come up into one more boat pose. You got it. Hands can stay on the backs of your thighs or out to your side for this boat pose. Inhale, high boat. Exhale, low boat. Inhale, high. Exhale, low. Pull in, pull in, pull in. High boat. Low boat. Back up to high. Downward facing dog. Oh, yeah. Good stuff. Good stuff. From downward facing dog, lizard lunge, right side. Right foot on the outside of your right hand. Yep, step your right foot on the outside of your hand. And then make sure your knee is stacked right on top of your ankle. Your foot could even be a little bit out further if it needs to be, but not knee in front of the ankle. Then you have choices. You can drop your back knee or keep it up in space. You can stay up on your hands or come down to your forearms. So any combination of those things. Stay right here with your knee, the inner thigh hugged to the side of your torso. Eyes set to one spot. Now you've got space to work with. The tapas, the heat all across your body. An opportunity for more space, for a deeper stretch. Let your knee drop out to the right. You can put your right palm in the middle of your thigh and gently press your leg open. Yeah, the foot will come onto the blade edge. That's fine. Just let it drop out. And as your hips come a little closer towards the floor, can you lift the pit of your belly in and up to counterbalance that? Yeah, good adjustments. So the bones of your hips go lower, pit of the belly goes in and up. You can stay right here or bend your back knee and grab your foot with your right hand. Steady rhythmic breath. Then right side half pigeon. Walk your foot across your mat or take down dog to reset. Right side half pigeon. As you make your way down into half pigeon, make sure there's a place for your forehead to rest, whether that's on your arms or on the floor. One less thing for you to hold up in space. Eyes set to one physical point. Even if it's blurry because your face is really close to the floor, let it be blurry and just stare. One spot of focus. Sometimes when you're off your mat, things are like that. Things are a little bit blurry and you're not quite sure, but you just have an intention. You know the direction you want to go, but aren't quite sure what the steps are to go that direction. Stick with that drishti anyway. See what happens when you stay focused like that. You've got a few more breaths here in half pigeon. You can stay right here or bend your back knee and grab a hold of your ankle for king pigeon. Eyes set to one spot. Downward facing dog, shake it out. Left side lizard lunge. Foot on the outside of your left hand. And you just check in. Scoot it forward if you need to get that knee on top of your ankle. And then you customize the base of the pose. Get your hands on your knee where they need to go. And you might find that it was relatively easy to get your elbows down on the one side. And on this side, you're like, I don't even know if I could get even close to it. Totally fine. You just customize the pose to work for this particular joint on this particular side of your body. Let your left leg open up to the side. You could add a bit of a twist to it, even to look over your shoulder and let your chest start to open up. Yeah. Like what becomes possible in each pose? What if you try this? What if you put this piece in there? What happens in the pose then? Stay or grab your back foot with your left hand. Yes, let it be a nice deep quad stretch. Then the left side half pigeon, walk your foot across. Settle into stillness in your half pigeon. Come right back to your drishti, your focal point, right back to your breath. Some days it feels like you have to reset that in every single pose. I forgot again, I got distracted again, and it can get really frustrating. And though, you just keep coming back to it and restarting. The more you restart, the more muscle memory gets built. So then you'll be able to step on your mat in the future. And from child's pose all the way to the end of your practice, the breath and the drishti are on fire the entire time. They're honed and focused the entire time. A few more breaths here in your half pigeon. Heavy bones down towards the mat. Frog pose. Turn to face the windows so everybody's going the same way. You can roll up your mat if you need a little extra cushion underneath your knees and then get settled in. There's a space in every pose, and it's more noticeable in poses that you hold for a longer period of time. The space where your mind goes, okay, that's enough. I need to get out. It's time for you to get out of this pose. And then there's a space where your body is actually ready to get out of the pose. Two different things. So as you're here in your frog pose, you're seated wide leg fold, and you creep into that space where your mind tries to dictate how long you're going to stay in the pose. Just stay. See what happens on the other side of that. When you tease those two things apart, what your mind says is possible and what your body is actually capable of, huge things start to shift in your practice. The limitations of your mind saying you're not strong enough, you're not flexible enough, you're too tired, you can't do that. And then your body saying, actually, all of those things are not as hard as you're saying they are. Huge shifts. A few more breaths right here in frog. Stay. To come out of your pose, crawl forward until your hips touch the mat. Then bring your legs together. Yes. Seated single leg extension. Right leg out. Left heel in towards your thigh. Let's take a lateral stretch tonight, a side bend. So reach your top arm over your ear, your right arm over your ear, and stretch out towards your foot, your left arm rather, towards your right foot. Yeah, and worry less about reaching and touching your toes, more about the space in your chest rotating up toward the ceiling. Yes, like that. So everything stays broad and open. There's just a long stretch on the side of your body now. Take one more big breath here. Stay for the exhale. Root your sit bones on the exhale and switch legs. Stretch in your side waist. Go up and over your ear with that top arm. And as you rotate the chest open, maybe the ribs come in and come into the twist with your chest. Yes, lots of space. I love it. Seated forward fold, both legs straight out. Hinge right at your hips, fold forward. Keep a little bit of softness in your knees at least. A little bend or a lot of bend. So that your sit bones and your tailbone can point towards the back edge of your mat instead of scooping underneath you because they're tight. Like the hamstrings can be tight and then you just bend the knees so there's more room to work with. Good. Toes up toward the ceiling. Tabletop or reverse plank. Palms on the mat, fingertips face forward. Rise up, lift your chest, lift your hips all the way up. You can drop your head back if that feels okay for your neck. Yeah, and then really get the edges of your fingertips and palms into the floor so the fronts of your shoulders will open up. One more breath here. Lower down. Fish pose. Tuck your hands underneath your glutes or bring a block between your shoulder blades. And tuck them underneath enough that the top of your head will come to the floor. And if it's not touching, just keep scooting the hands further forward until it touches so you don't have your head just hanging off your neck. It might be that your hands come all the way to the backs of your thighs even to get the top of your head down. Yeah, good. Eyes set to one point. Allow your chest to open up with big, full breaths. Your bones to pull into center with your exhales, right into the center of your torso. One more breath here in fish. Stay for the whole exhale. Get complete. Then make your way onto your back. Let's get upside down. Any version of upside down you want to take here, it's on the table. You pick. Make it a mindful choice. The waterfall, the shoulder stand, whatever inversion you're taking, go piece by piece. Press the backs of your triceps into the mat for shoulder stand. Lift and press your feet up to the ceiling, regardless of the inversion, legs all the way up to the ceiling. Yes. So it's not just your arms holding you up or your back holding you up. The legs lift and pull the weight of your body up to the ceiling. Yes, eyes on one spot. Keep the breath flowing. Shoulder stands to plow. And I want you to try something in plow. If you always have your toes tucked, untuck your toes and press the tops of your toes, the tops of your feet into the floor in your plow pose. Yeah, tops of your toes. Ooh, something different. A different stretch in the tops of your feet. Plow to deaf yogi. Bend your knees, hug them around the sides of your head. And slowly, bone by bone, bring your spine back to the mat. Nice control. Knees into your chest, give them a squeeze. And cross your right thigh over your left. Right thigh over your left, kind of like eagle legs. Right thigh over your left, right in center. And then supine twist from here. So drop your knees over towards the windows, twist and look toward the cubbies. If that feels like it's too much of a stretch for your low back, you can untwist your legs and just stack knee on top of knee. Come back to center, switch which thigh is on top. Supine twist the opposite way. Supta Baddha Konasana. Come back to center. Press the soles of your feet together. Shavasana. Legs long, arms long. You might even take your arms a little wider than you normally do just to get your shoulder blades tucked underneath you. And take a long, slow breath in through your nose. Breathe in, breathe in, breathe in. Exhale it out. Let your entire body rest easy on your mat. Deepen your breath. Bring some movement back into your hands and your feet. Plant your feet on the floor and rock onto your right side. With your eyes still closed, press down and rise up. Take a comfortable seat. Inhale, reach your hands overhead. Exhale, thumbs to heart center. We'll finish out practice with 3 final ohms. Deep breath in. Deep breath in. Exhale it out. Thumb knuckles to forehead center. Thank you all so much for taking time out of your evening to get to the studio and get on your mat with me. Namaste. Good work, everybody.